We are live from the Stade de France, Toulouse, La Rochelle. It's the final of the top 14. Nearly 10 months have passed since round one of this league kicked off. Tonight, the French league's top two teams will try and become the new French champions. Antoine Dupont, coached by that man there, Hugo Mola, Emmanuel Mirfou, Julien Marchand. All of these extraordinary players are here tonight, bidding to try and conquer the league, conquer France, lift the silverware, lift the Brenner shields. Stade Toulouse face Stade Rochelle in a remake of the 2021 final, except this time the climate is completely different. Both teams have taken different paths over the past 2 years. La Rochelle have conquered Europe twice in emphatic fashion. Winnie Antonio and co have been victorious, while Toulouse have not won any silverware over the past 2 years. Studying the fine lines, studying the right information. The fans are here. The whole scenario is, well, just been teed up to be so electric that we're so excited about this. We're going to take a look at the two teams. First up, Toulouse, by Marchand, Aldegheri, Richie Arnold, Mirfou, Roumat, Willis and Kroos. Dupont, Telmac at 9 and 10. Then, of course, looking out wide, we've got Lebel, Retia, Chocobaris, Aki and Ramos. On the bench, the same as last week in San Sebastian, with the likes of Flamand, Mo Vaca on the bench. And for La Rochelle, no change, just like Toulouse from last week's win over UBB. Wardy, Bougarit, Antonio, Sazi, Skelton, Aldrit, the captain, Budahent, and, of course, Botia, the key Fijian. Backline, Kerbalo, Hastoy, Rouled, Souteni, Donti, Dulan, and on the bench, Bergeon, Dylan, Sclavi. We've got quality players there, and I'm very happy to have a quality ex-player next to me. Played for Cars, played for Montpellier, and of course, played for Bayonne, Scottish international. Johnny Beattie, great to have you here. What about this? What about this scenario? Everything points towards an epic final. Is that what we're going to get?
What a setting. I mean, take this place and the supporters, the fans, the dream final that everyone has been looking forward to. You've got 1 against 2, duking it out for that. A Brennus, a top 14 title. And the atmosphere palpable already. But Robbie, as you mentioned, the two teams going at it, La Rochelle and Toulouse, who have been head and shoulders above the rest this season. They've been absolutely unstoppable. And quite rightly now, they get the chance to fight it out, to be crowned champion. But what a spectacle this promises to be. The quality of play, the players on show here in the home of French rugby, the Stade de France, it doesn't get any bigger.
Well, there's the Bouclier de Brennus, 1892. It was made and created by Charles Brennus. Of course, it's changed over the years. This is you know, a different version, but we've got a giant-sized version out there as well, as fans of all ages are really coming into the stadium. And, you know, everybody loves rugby. Passionate rugby supporters here tonight from the two top teams. La Rochelle, they conquered Europe on the last 2 occasions, and they did it in a fine way. They came back against Leinster and conquered Dublin and the continent, of course. They come up against Toulouse. 21 Brenner Shields. 21. No one else has done anything like that. They're going for 22. And there we have La Rochelle. They've made one final. One top 14 final in 2021, where they lost against Toulouse 18-8 in horrible, horrendous conditions. We can talk about that all night long, but we're not going to go there. We're going to talk about how La Rochelle can beat Toulouse, or will Toulouse just remain the big boys of French rugby?
Well, they've been the team to chase for the past 20 years, since the inception of professional rugby, really. If you listen to Ronan O'Gara, what he's trying to build, he's already well on his way. They want to build themselves a dynasty, and this is the ideal scenario. They've built confidence with those Champions Cup victories, 2 on the trot, and now this is the first time they'll really believe they can come here and do this. They can topple Toulouse. Toulouse still absolute favourites. You look at the head-to-heads, the history between these two sides, everybody would bet on Toulouse, but this is really the toss of a coin, Robbie. It's a 50-50. They've swept aside Racing and Bordeaux in the semis. You've got the two big boys, the two juggernauts, both with equal chance here of coming out winners. But an outstanding display already from the fans, the build-up all afternoon. And the colour around this place, absolutely magnificent as you sit in and take it all in around us. What a place.
We're just waiting for the players to make their entrance, come out onto this main stage here in Paris, here at the Stade de France. It is packed already. I don't think that there are going to be any seats that are going to be free. 80,000, and the likes of Brice Dulin and Greg Aldred, all of these players will be coming out onto the pitch, and it's going to be a memorable night here with beautiful weather, beautiful conditions, a little bit of rock music, and hopefully some rock rugby out there, champagne style, the way that we love it. Look at Dupont, focused, set in, ready to go.
And the noise, as soon as his face appears on the screen, a French rugby hero, but quickly becoming a global icon in our sport, as are many of these boys. The bulk of these two teams will make up Fabien Galtier's squad. His first squad is named in 2 weeks. And the friendship as well, you have to admire the touches before this game kickoffs, but when it does kick off, Robbie, it's going to be absolute mayhem. The best players in France, head-to-head for a top 14 title. Brice Dulin, we just saw him on camera. This is his 10th top 14 final, incredibly.
22 international players will be out on the pitch tonight. Just to give you an idea of what French rugby's all about, but also the international stars that are out here making up these two teams. Let them begin, let them make their entrance. They are here, they're here for this, and they are ready. We have an epic showdown. It is the right time and the right place to focus on tonight's giant, colossal showdown between these two teams, Stade Toulouse and Stade Rochelle. And the players will get the chance to just, well, meet and greet the president of France, normally, Monsieur Emmanuel Macron. But I think that this is more than a presidential affair. This is a royal affair when it comes to rugby, because what you've got out here are just the best, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. We are looking at two quality teams who've started to get to know each other quite well, Johnny, recently.
They have, and I think for everyone that's tuning in from around the world as well, take a look, absorb this. This is what the World Cup is going to offer in just a few months' time. The atmosphere, the fandom, the appetite for the game in this part of the world.
Time for the Marseillaise. Bien sûr. Well, it is a very special night, and I think that just looking at these two teams, Johnny, we have not just two well-drilled teams, but teams who are hungry for silverware. They're hungry to make their mark. Toulouse, we've seen them, they've been around the block, they understand exactly what they want to do, and they want to keep on winning. They have that mentality. They've got an enormous setup, they've got an academy, that everything is in position. But I think what we need to look at is also the fact that La Rochelle are the team who are now want to climb up that and get up onto the same step as Toulouse, because they haven't got that top 14 Rennes shield to boast about. In the last 10 years of them getting to where they are, coming out of the Pro D2, They've fought valiantly to get to where they are today. They've got 2 European titles, but they haven't got the Brenner Shield. What does it take for a team like that to go and deal with Toulouse tonight?
Belief, I think, is the simple question. They firmly believe they've come on an outstanding journey. You mentioned the trip from Pro D2 over 10 years ago, but they're no longer minnows, Robbie. You listen to the way Ronan O'Gara talks about how they perform, the consistency, the power, also the quality, as Emmanuel Macron comes down the steps to salute the players that are taking part. But this is La Rochelle's opportunity. They've come so far. They now need to knock Toulouse, who've been the top of the tree for the best part of 20 years, off their perch. And that man, Brice Dulin, in his 10th top 14 final. La Rochelle will absolutely believe that they can do this. Toulouse still the bookies' favourite, the fans' favourite, the head-to-head would say they will run this game out as easy winners, but La Rochelle, double Champions Cup winners now. A different team to the one they were 2 years ago when they lost in this fixture. They'll absolutely believe, as President Merlin from La Rochelle welcomes Emmanuel Macron, that they can do this. They can compete and they can win their first top 14 title here at the Stade de France.
Yeah, and Vincent Merling is René Buscatel, the president of the French Rugby Federation, of course, and Francis Guy, of course, of the French Rugby Federation, and René Buscatel of the Ligue Nationale de Rugby. Everybody's in town tonight because this is a big occasion. But what Vincent Merling has done for La Rochelle is quite extraordinary. He has created an ecosystem that functions so well. There we see Lips, Lavani Bottia, and Tawera Kerbalo, Uini Antonio, the boys from the Pacific Islands, you know, from the other side of the world, shaking their hands with Emmanuel Macron. Magical moments to remember.
Absolutely incredible moments, and President Merling, as he introduces Macron to his players, should be incredibly proud. You look at that journey, how far they've come from Pro D2, a sprinkling of world-class talent, but ultimately the infrastructure put in place, the path laid by Patrice Colazo now at Brive, and a job kicked on by Ronan O'Gara, some of the world's best players combined with some of the finest players in France. And as a president, he will believe that this is a real opportunity for La Rochelle to knock over Toulouse and take their first title.
Eugene Souteni, a player, of course, who has been around France, joined from UBB, a team that lost out on Antoine Hastoy. He's made a massive impact in this La Rochelle team, having joined from the Section Paloise, and he is the player who's going to come up against Romain Intermac tonight. Romain Sazi, his last game playing for La Rochelle, and look at him. He looks as though he wants to play for another 5 years, you know, as keen as mustard. 36 years of age, but he's pure La Rochelle, just like Uini Antonio. These are the players who've been there for such a long time, they're part of it. They're an institution on the West Coast for the privateers.
Well, incredible. You think that Lavani Bottia, Uini Antonio, Romain Sazi, they were all there and part of the journey out of Pro D2. That tells us something about their longevity, and then added the sprinkling of young talent like Greg Aldred, like Pierre Bougarit, Brice Dulin. But what a team they've turned into, Robbie. And absolutely deserving of this, their chance at the top table. Now twice champions of Europe, incredibly. And can they make history? That's the question that they'll ask themselves. They want to become a dynasty, they want to knock over the best. And this is their chance. They're going to have to knock over that man. Not an easy task.
The Magic, and they'll be seeing each other in September, of course, because there's a certain affair that's taking place that kicks off on the 8th of September in this very stadium, and a lot of these players will be doing the same thing, you know, with the president, Macron, of course, because it's when the Rugby World Cup 2023 kicks off here in Paris, here at the Stade de France, and it's France against New Zealand. It doesn't come bigger than that. It is going to be a momentous occasion. So, of course, everybody's looking at this and saying, right, we have this big final now. But the next time there's going to be an epic showdown at the same level, it's going to be France against the All Blacks.
Look, this game will be the most watched and supported top 14 final in the history of this competition. But that game, France All Blacks, the first game of the World Cup, will be the most watched game of rugby ever in the history of our sport. So, look, an incredible night coming up. What a chance for these players to etch themselves in history and get their name on a Brennus. What a summer it's going to be, the prep, and then the biggest occasion in the rugby calendar coming just around the corner. Will that man, Manny Miafu, be accorded his French passport and make his way into Fabien Galtier's squad? We'll have to wait and see. He might end up playing against that man, Richie Arnold. Will he be called up by Eddie Jones for Australia? Will be spoiled. The next few months of rugby will be absolutely huge.
Well, we know one player who'll logically come up against, and he's going to be wearing the colours of La Rochelle tonight, Will Skelton. One of the matchups that everybody's looking forward to. Juggernauts, human juggernauts, who are going to collide. I mean, you know, everybody's going to be looking away because when they confront each other, it's going to be madness. I mean, it really is. We're expecting a physical battle up front, to say the least. But we're also looking at the backs and how they can produce that champagne rugby, potentially. And both sides have the quality, have the depth. We'll see exactly how things pan out. But you've got a 6-2 bench, so only 2 backs on either side. But that basically tells us how it's going to go.
Well, look, both sides have made it this far by obliterating other forward packs up front. Their maul and their scrum has dominated. Penalties have been easy. What you expect at this level, they'll cancel each other out. You expect to see parity up front. The physical confrontation will be absolutely gigantic. But you expect them almost to neutralise each other. How can these teams get into multi-phase? How can Jonathan Danty-Creagh go forward, get across that gain line and create space for his outside backs? An enthralling encounter coming up. And Antoine Hastoy, can he throw his hat in the ring for an extra spot in Fabien Galtier's squad? Challenge that man, Romain Ntamack.
Now, before we kick off, Johnny, the third member of our team is, of course, Angus Turode, who's pitch side. Angus, just give us a little taste of the temperature. What's it feel like to be down there in the heart of the action?
Well, it's very noisy down here, Robbie. The atmosphere is compounded. When President Macron went by, there was some genuine excitement. Everybody was watching him. This is a big year for France with the Rugby World Cup coming up. And, of course, he was shaking hands with a number of those players that we were hoping will be taking France to glory in the summer. It is magnificent down here. It's a nice, warm evening. Pitch side is relatively cool, which is not bad. It's not raining, which is what happened 2 years ago. And it's a lovely evening for 2 massive sides to give us a spectacle.
Thanks very much, Angus. It's time for kick-off. Mr. Tuil Trainini is the man in charge of the whistle tonight as we get ready for the final of the Top 14 2022-2023. The Giants, the heavyweights of France. Stade Toulousain up against Stade Rochelle. Toulouse, La Rochelle. The Privateers of La Rochelle up against the Giants of Toulouse. It's now. C'est maintenant, messieurs, dames. Ronan O'Gara up in the stands, waiting, ready. The fans here, they're going ballistic here, Johnny, because they are so motivated. But it's so good to see the La Rochelle fans really keen and ready to go.
And look, for people that haven't made a top 14 game, it's an absolute carnival every single weekend. And this is something they've waited for all year long. Now is the time.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. C'est la finale du Top 14. Antoine Hastoy kicks high. And of course, safely taken by the man at the back, Thomas Ramos. We'll see a lot of ball carrying by this man here, the Australian, born potentially a French international come September. Mani Miafu. The clearance kick from Monsieur Dupont takes them not outside of their own half, but they've now got a line out to try and work their magic. This is, of course, going to be a platform that Donegal Ryan will obviously have been working on this week.
It'll be an area of key interest. La Rochelle not in any rush to get to this line out and get the game started. Whoever dominates possession, Robbie, incredibly hard to contain.
Pierre Bougarit, perfectly taken by Sazi. Lifted well, brings it down back to earth, and then the driving maul. And there's players, Richie Arnold told to get back into his place. It's still moving forward. The ball's there. Bougarit tries to get it back. They go again. Reconstruction. Roman Centurions, call it what you like. They're moving in the right direction. It's still there. It's big Will Skelton, who tries to swat down a couple of defenders. Finally hits the deck. And dug out by Carvalho. Bougarit. Carvalho gets it out. Well, they've got plenty of power in the back line, and they'll be trying to use that. Dante on that occasion. Carvalho into the hands of Lavani Boccia. They go again. Hastoy trying to get a quick ball. Nicely done. The hands. Brice-Dulin. Toulouse defence in position so far. Another big pass. Look at that hit that came in from Toulouse. Absolutely massive. Hastoy. Antonio this time. It's good support play from the players who are carrying the ball. Johnny.
Great carry by Bougarit, but it's the physicality, Robbie, already.
And the first penalty goes against Toulouse. And a great opportunity. They haven't given the ball to Toulouse once besides that clear-out kick from the kickoff.
Le mall est formé, c'est pour ça que le ballon circule vers l'avant.
La Rochelle, they've laid down the gauntlet. They've said, look, this has been a question of physicality. That's how we've made it all year. We picked for a high tackle in the end, but again, maul at source. How can we attack? How can we generate go forward? They take that line-out ball as they've done the entire year. There's the high tackle. You can just see Alex Roumat slipping up. And Pierre Bougarit, that's why he's been pinged. Some of the physicality, the challenges, the defensive work as well by Toulouse, not to give an inch, stopping Will Skelton. Dante, big carriers. It's going to be an enthralling contest as this game ticks on.
Ça va chercher loin, ouais. Ok. Moi, à vitesse réelle, ça attaque bien dans le rock. Par contre, ça finit loin, c'est ça?
Hastoy comes around beautifully in front of a big crowd. Well, the fans started to react, but
Derrière ballon, messieurs.
I'm afraid that didn't go in the right direction, did it?
And we know in these finals we saw 2 years ago La Rochelle miss a few points from the tee and they paid the price dearly. You have to take every single opportunity.
Brice-Dulin will play a very important role. He likes to wander, he likes to go around. That's a big hit there coming in from Miafu. Carrying the ball forward, just going into that defensive line. They're very well organised, very well structured. Carvalho, Antonio with the carry there. He gets held short. Hastoy goes swirling high up in the air. Hasn't got too much distance. We'll test out Ramos. Nicely done. It gets picked out. And look how dangerous they are. Ntamak chips the ball through. Tries to pick it up. He does indeed. Is there anybody outside of him? No, but Dupont's there. Tries to go himself around the fringes. Flying off their feet. You can't do that.
It's Alex Roumat pinged again. Wonderful piece of ingenuity from Ntamak from the turnover. Saw there wasn't the space in the backfield, but found a bit of spare grass in the second line. The chip and collect absolutely perfectly executed by Roman Ntamak.
That's exactly what's expected from him. He's such an artist, but we get to look at this again. He sees the gap behind. He's hoping that the bounce is going to be good. Collects perfectly, brought down by Doulan, but just look at that. It's Roumat who goes in, loses his footing, flies off his feet, and that's the reason why Monsieur Trenini has picked up on that infringement.
It's a little bit unfortunate as well. The initial piece of work, very well done by Ntamak. And if Retier had managed to get that ball away first time the rocket was on to go.
Line out secured. Kerbalo gets it out. Antonio with a charge. Takes out Cyril Bay. They go again this time. You can see that it's Dante who tries to take it forward. Kerbalo digs for the ball. It comes out Hastoy. Soutani. Oh, it's just been blocked there. And there's an offside position being pinged by Dylan Leeds. Just came back in the wrong position to try and collect the ball when it was came back off from the attempted kick through.
Offside from the kick, Dylan Leeds. I thought Toulouse could have been pinged from second phase as well. They all looked offside, but that was let go by referee. Team in this now a real opportunity for Toulouse. First chance to get into La Rochelle territory attack. Alex Roumat making amends for that earlier penalty, disrupting that line-out time. You just see the ball actually comes off the foot of Brice Doulan in the ricochet. That's what puts Dylan Leeds offside.
Julien Marchand with the line-out throw, perfectly taken by Roumat. Roumat is just extraordinary. The attacking line-outs, but also stealing ball. Look at this, they've side-winded around, and they got the advantage there. Players coming off side position. Well, feisty indeed, and a chance for them to go forward. Roumat just helping with a little bit of support there with Cyril Bay. The ball comes out, Julien Marchand. So, big hits coming in from La Rochelle. They're just holding fort. Taken forward this time by Francois Crowe. Very dangerous. Antoine Dupont. This time Arnold goes in. Oh, this Jack and Willis loses possession. Will go back to the original penalty that was picked up by Monsieur Trenini.
Sur le molle, le soutien externe perd la liaison et rentre en travers. Le soutien externe perd la liaison et finit en travers.
Monsieur Trenini just explaining that the initial defence of the maul was good. But they then lost their bind in the secondary effort to defend that maul. After losing bind, they come in from the side. The take initially very good by Roumat again. Great line out forward.
Pardon? Oui, c'est tenté.
The initial construction of the maul defended really well, but they lost Antonio and Skelton. They ended up on the deck. Secondary effort, you could see. Aldred just sliding up the side, coming in at the wrong angle and getting pinged.
And a chance for
sur les lignes
Ramos
sur le dernier là-bas, je pense que il y a le 12 qui anticipe, il recule, mais il
reste hors jeu. Points on the board.
Je suis d'accord avec toi, Adrien.
As we approach the 9-minute mark. 204 points scored in the regular season. And here he is, kicking the first points. Toulouse take the lead in the 9th minute here at the Stade de France. The fans happy about that. But a very tight, very muscular game that we've seen since the ball was kicked.
Well, look, it's going to be a war of attrition. You see the quality of the contact and carries from the likes of Cyril Bay, Julien Marchand.
Hastoy sends it high. Ramos also responds and takes the ball up towards the halfway line. La Rochelle beating Toulouse 37 in January. And that was after losing 7 in a row, including the final 2021, which finished 8-18. So that was the end of an era, start of a new era for La Rochelle against Toulouse. Nicely done by Sazi. Kerbalo gets the ball out. Hastoy into the hands of Dunty. Dunty tries to keep himself on his feet. Good work at the breakdown by Marchand, but just had to stop. Trying the jackal, counter-rucking from Toulouse. Looks like they've stolen the ball. Willis. And that is a massive victory. A massive victory. And Willis, the English blindside flanker, doing the business there with the breakdown.
Oh, look, he's been a phenomenon since his arrival in the top 14 for Toulouse and for England. He's had an incredible season in the red and black of Toulouse. So precious in the collision zone. You could see the initial disruption by Dorian Aldegheri. And then the cavalry arrive, provoking that fault from Kerbalo, who doesn't want to give the turnover ball away, but he concedes the penalty. And another shot at goal for Toma Ramos.
On that occasion, Johnny, you didn't have to, we didn't need you to translate with the referee Tuil Trainini, which is great, but great translation earlier, I must admit. Ramos straight down the middle. Big kick in his own half. There's no wind, and that looks like it's going to glide perfectly, but it's gone wide. Got the distance, didn't get the accuracy. It will remain 3 points for Toulouse. Won't be too happy about that because struck it well, and they want to get it moving as quickly as possible. Racing out of their own 22. Picked up and carried forward. See how important you've got the likes of Paul Boudehent and Will Skelton. All of the big guys need to get into position just to protect. Kerbalo, box kick. Ramos. The call is hit it high. Romain Tamac is following it. And oh, he's just been held back. Nothing picked up by the referee. That looks like it's a 50-22, or is it not? No, yes it is, I think it is. I'm just wondering if there was something on Romain Tamac, held back. That's why the Toulousain fans are a little bit disgruntled. Let's just have a look at him here.
Oh, I think this looked like a fair contest. You could just see Botia bringing the arm down. Again, Kerbalo, such a quick-thinking scrum half.
That's a brilliant kick.
Oh, the weight on it, absolutely perfect. Toma Ramos doesn't agree. And Toulouse know how big that is, because when La Rochelle get possession in your 22, the chances of them scoring are absolutely colossal. A big phase now coming up for the men in yellow.
It's the line out, perfectly snatched out of the sky by that man, Boudehent. Now, the driving maul is something that they've used very well throughout the season. It's something that they're very well organised. They move forward, they communicate. Kerbalo's waiting to take the ball, but it's still that man Bugaritz who's got it in his hands. The cavalry arrive, look at this, they're all coming in, and everybody will fight for each other here. Dante's got it, Kerbalo's going to take it. Is he going to go? He's not ready just yet. Dylan Lades is behind him. All right, they need to release the tackled player. Goes down, they're deep in Toulouse 22 territory. Kerbalo will try and get the ball out, use his forwards. Here we go. Boudehent this time. Comes out. Dante, oh my word, that is massive. What a hit on Soutani. Smashing hit indeed. Still in possession. They're waiting for more players to arrive. The cavalry again turns up and they take it forward. This time you can see it's Will Skelton. Not allowed to get your hands on that, says Monsieur Trainini. Ne touche pas. Taken forward. This is they're still going, but that is going to be, well, it was the moment that the Mirfou came over. It was the moment that I think he was penalised. Hence the reason why they've got a good penalty to try and, well, put 3 points on the scoreboard.
And the right call, absolutely. He actually didn't give the advantage, which was a little surprising, but it looked like Manny Miafu, who's intent to counter-attack, just lost his feet. But La Rochelle laying down the law, it's something that's worked for them, as you mentioned, throughout the season, but also in the semi-finals. Their maul has been a massive weapon, but the physicality. Melvin Jaminet watching on from the stands, encouraging his teammates. The size of some of these collisions already, Robbie, the line speed brought by both sides to close down time and space and catch the offense man and ball. It's been incredible to watch in the opening quarter.
And Monsieur Hastoy kicks the three, and we're all level once again. 3 points apiece. Gives us a chance to go down and talk to Angus Turode. It's a very physical battle taking place down there. You could probably hear the hits from just a couple of meters away from the paint where you are.
Yeah, it's well, we don't have the rain, but it's the same kind of physicality that we saw 2 years ago. Of course, it was Ruben Antomac who was the kicker in those days before Thomas Ramos took over. But this is really important that Hastoy takes these opportunities when they came along, because they really struggled for those in the rain here 2 years ago.
Thanks very much, Angus. Clean take from the restart. Carballo, clearance. And the Yellow Army turn up quickly. Ramos doesn't take a quick line out, so they'll have the chance to put themselves in the right position and try and battle for this. Ons Capuoso, of course, the wonderful Johan Huget. We're looking at some familiar faces there. There's
Josh Brennan as well.
Melvin Jaminet, all of the players who missing out, unfortunately. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. The team that won last week, 41-14, they managed to crush Racing. Why change that team? Big hit there from Bugarit, can't come in from the side. Dupont. This is where he's super dangerous. Dupont comes back in the inside finally. More big hits coming in. And Marchand, he's so dangerous when he's taking the ball forward. It's been dug out, picked up, and there's the Romain Tamac kick. Oh, it comes off Lebel. Oh, a bit of spillage there. Hands still in play. Carballo does really well, but they're under a little bit of pressure here. Leeds makes it safe. And Carballo gives the ball to Big Will Skelton, brought down by the two engine room boys. Arnold and Mirfu, Australian connection. Carballo clears the ball. Teddy Thomas. Greatly missed Teddy Thomas. Such a shame to see him in the stands. He's one of those players we'd love to see.
Guillaume Marchand as well, the younger brother of Julien, hooker for Lyon.
They look quite similar, don't they?
Very similar. Anthony Gelanche as well, the cheer that goes up in the stadium for that man. Wishing him all the best on his way back from his knee injury. Hopefully he'll make the World Cup as well.
That would be a great feat indeed. Richie Arnold, the big giant Australian, perfect in the line-out. Antoine Dupont tries to swat away Hastoy. Still goes, they still got the advantage here. And Roumat takes it forward. Oof. Again, they go forward with that man, Mirfu. He's knocked out Levani Botia, down on the ground, the Fijian. They call him Lips. I hope that he's okay. We hope he's okay. This is going around the outside. Chocobares. Well, the Argentinian cemented his position in that team. We're going to stop and go back over. Let's get the lay of the land regarding Levani Botia, because, well, he got mowed down by Mirfu in such a big way that we just hope that it's okay. A few shenanigans that we won't worry about there.
Quality and the power of the ball carry. Again, that's Levani Botia, one of the most powerful men in world rugby. Mani Miafu drops the shoulder.
But look how low they are.
Not many people can do that to Levani Botia. That just shows the quality of this young man and what he brings to Toulouse, and soon the French 15 as well. But following that ball carry, we just saw looks like Bontier will leave the field for an HIA. We just saw the quality of the Toulouse backline as well, the ability to generate space, work their way outside. This La Rochelle that does drum up and blitz in defense. Toulouse showing that they can push the button, the power game as well, and apply their maul.
I think we're going to go down see who's coming on to replace that man Bottier. Angus?
Well, Bottier's just been going past me. As he was coming off, he was sort of looking at the sidelines as if he was like, it's all right, what's the matter, I'm fine. But they've insisted that he goes down to have an HIA rather, to get him off. I haven't actually seen who's come on yet, to be honest with you. There were a little bit of confusion down here on the La Rochelle side.
Yes, Remy Bordeaux's just come on to replace him. Thanks so much, Angus. We'll keep tabs on him. We'll clock watch as well to see if you pick up on anything. Just let us know, Angus, for regarding that man, Vani Bottier, such an important player for this La Rochelle team. Thomas Ramos, meanwhile, tees the ball up, sets his sights from out left field, and delivers the goods. Perfectly executed in the 21st minute. And Stade Toulousain, they move 6-3 ahead. And these fans, fairly happy for the time being, banging their drums, celebrating in a big way. And Mr. Trainini has decided that it is time for a water break because it's pretty hot here tonight.
It is, it's cooled since this afternoon. It was up at 33. Now starting to cool in the evening, but what an encounter we've got, Robbie. The opening exchanges, the physicality, fizzing. Some of those collisions were absolutely ginormous. Not much between the two. It hasn't gotten into multi-phase just yet. But the quality on show, the power these two sides possess. They look to battle each other in the second quarter, try to create a little bit more space.
There's a stat that stands out for me, Johnny, and that is both Stade Toulousain and La Rochelle, they've conceded fewer points than any other teams in the top 14 besides Stade Francais per 22-metre entry. It's 1.69 for Toulouse, 1.76 for La Rochelle. Just to give everybody an understanding just how solid and strong the defences are for both teams.
Both sides phenomenal. Again, we see the replays, but the line speed of it's Jack Willis, if it's Sazi getting off the line, both sides, they do not want to give away any space because they know the quality of the ball carrier they're up against, whether it's Cyril Bay, Alex Roumat. That might be interesting, shifting the point of contact, avoiding that first wave of defense. And then again, the ability to break tackles, get over that gain line will be so important as this game grinds on. And the big stat, everyone was talking about it before this game. Ronan O'Gara-Rog referenced it in his pre-match conference, is that La Rochelle have only won 1 out of their last 10 encounters against Toulouse. Will this be the one that changes, that breaks everything and wins them their first title in the top 14?
Well, as it stands, the arm wrestle is going as planned, I think. We're still expecting things to maybe loosen up a little bit as time goes on. The heat is obviously will have an impact on tired legs going into the final 20, so I think we're going to take a look at that. But in the meantime, you know, it's hard. It's very physical.
Interesting stat from that first quarter as well, Robbie.
Yeah, very interesting, isn't it? Carvalho, 24, he's touched the ball 24 times on 20 points, just 9. Just to give you an idea of, you know, who's getting possession and who's actually trying to do something. It is La Rochelle who've got the go-ahead in that department. They're not allowing Toulouse to get too much ball, but that strangulation effect has worked well for La Rochelle this season.
Well, look for both sides. Again, you see the quality of the carry, the half break by Greg Aldrich, the ability to shift that ball over the top as well and find space. Ramos actually does really well to close the gate. But whoever dominates position, typically out of these two sides, wins the game. The possession stat with these two is so important.
Boudehent signed a new contract with La Rochelle to keep him there until 2025. Solid in the line-outs. Brother's gone to Stade Francais, Pierre, who plays in the centre position. Carvalho, oh, butterfingers there out of the hands of Dante. You've got to be careful. He's up. Ramos in the corner. Oh, delivering the first major blow in this final. The Argentinian providing us with the fireworks. Oh my word. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile every time.
Santi Choco Barras gets everyone on their feet in the stadium. The initial piece of defensive work by Toulouse. Watch this defense. They smash the back lifter, and Roman Intimac with the line speed, forcing the error from Jonathan Danti, and Santi Choco Barras does the rest, dives over in the corner. But what about the work from Intimac, getting in the face of Danti, putting that element of doubt in his mind as he goes to catch the ball. Even the best players in the business can make a mistake, and he knows how crucial that is at this level. But La Rochelle have been here. They've been in this situation very recently. They will believe, they will continue to graft. We've all seen what they were capable of doing and coming back and smashing Leinster in Dublin. But that's a cheap try to give away. That's what Roger will be disappointed with. Toulouse didn't have to work too hard for that one.
Ramos adds the extras, they go over, the ball sails between the sticks, and that, well, it's a big statement, isn't it? Well, there are the Butterfingers, they came up really quickly, Intimac was there, and then the fumble fell perfectly into the hands of Choco Barras, the Argentinian, dancing away. Hugo Mola, one happy man. He knows how important that score was.
Well, Toulouse favourites. Top 14 finals. They've won every single one they've been part of since 2008, Robbie. They've won the last 7 finals they've played in the Champions Cup and top 14 combined. This isn't their first rodeo, and that's an easy one to give away.
I give a lot of credit to Roman Intimac, the way that he came up very quickly, and he just hit them very hard, and afterwards it was complicated. Ball's out. Gotta let go of the Mr. Dupont now. Oh, it's a steel ball, but I think that you've got to let go. Watch out for Dupont. Dupont's off. This is how dangerous this man is. Well, he tries to get the ball out to Roman. There's a knock on. A little bit of a frantic rugby, just to kick things up in the air.
Antoine Dupont just showing that he is human. The emotion already pouring out of the Toulouse supporters.
I don't know if it's emotional sweat. You can see the territory, 47-53, but the last 10 minutes, Toulouse, well, they're a team that just know how to hammer in the nail. You know, the moment that they get possession, that they get the go-ahead, when their tails are up, they just start flying.
But this is so neatly poised. This is the thing for Hugo Mola, the stress. He knows that ball squirts out the back of rock. La Rochelle gain repossession. They are so good at holding ball, and you're under the cosh, but the fault comes, the penalty allows them out of their 22. That could very easily have gone the other way. Every single member of the Toulouse pack is just wanting that ball kicked off the field. A simple line out to attack from up around the halfway. Antoine Dupont wants to go quickly and get this game going. That might be a sign of the lack of touches he had in the first quarter.
It's incredible, but we're actually 25 minutes in. It's the first scrum. Johnny, that's just unbelievable. That's not normal. You wouldn't have said that talking about or commentating a French rugby game 10 years ago.
And what a contest it will be as well. Antonio going up ahead.
Penalty.
Against Cyril Bay.
Now it's Aldegheri who actually goes down under pressure from Wadi. As we see Sebastian Boubel just communicating, of course, with Guthro Steenkamp.
Winnie Antonio does not look too good getting up from that scrum either. Look of concern from both Cyril Bay and Julien Marchand. See the scrum collapse under pressure on the far side. It's Dorian Aldegheri that's been pinged, loses his bind. Red Awardie, a formidable scrummager as well.
Now we can see Vani Bottia coming back out of the tunnel. Now, what's his state of play? Is he going to be able to come back on? That's the big question, because I know that he wants to, regardless of, you know, it's the state that he's in, but have the doctors given him the all clear?
Yeah, Robbie, everybody on the La Rochelle bench is thumbs up, saying that he's on his way back. He looks ready to come back on again, which is great news for La Rochelle.
Thank you, Angus. Hastori. Again, there's a miss from Antoine Hastori. That's 2 penalty misses. Not that complicated. I mean, you know, she would never say that it's not that complicated. There's a little bit of tension here and the stress, of course, but he's nailed penalties like that all season for La Rochelle, so I don't understand what's going on.
He's one of the leading point scorers as well in the competition and the Champions Cup this season. Well within his range.
Well, we haven't seen too much of this man here charging through. He's been relatively inactive so far, Greg Aldrich, with carrying the ball forward. These players need to come up and get themselves involved. Well, Ramos taken out. There's a little bit of few shenanigans taking place there. The ball's been kicked over the top, and you got to be careful. He's been snagged. And Romain Ntamak, that's a high tackle on Ntamak. Got to be careful there. Budahent responsible, but look at that. They got the ball. Now there's a chance. Wadi tries to take the ball forward. He's still on his feet. Hits the deck. Need to get quick ball out. They got numbers before Toulouse get themselves back in position. There's an opportunity. It's a bit messy, but we do have a penalty from the offside position. Came a little bit too quickly off his line. Now, to go for goal from that position there, Johnny?
You certainly do, straight in front of the sticks, and it isn't finished between Thomas Ramos and Bourgarit.
Ça fait 2 fois, la prochaine, je la retourne. Est-ce que c'est clair? Merci. Vous reculez.
Okay,
just making it clear.
Yeah.
That's his second time. The next time he gets involved in something, the penalty's turned, but the stress is caused against the quick thinking of Carabarlo. The turnover comes from Thomas Ramos, unable to gather the high ball. And that's the second quick kick from turnover we've seen from Carabarlo. Pressure on Romain Ntamak. We saw him run out of his dead ball area against New Zealand here in 2021, one of the moments of that year in French rugby. This time caught, though. The contest absolutely superb by La Rochelle. They win the ball back.
This penalty needs to be hit over for Hastori to just get some of that confidence back. He makes no mistakes from close range, and La Rochelle double their tally. They're up to 6 points now. Well, look at this. Romain Ntamak, he needed to get rid of it right away. Carabarlo gets there quick, Budahent's there, and then afterwards you know what these guys will do. They're going to come in and steamroll.
And then that forces you, once you're in your 22, you're up against big forwards. It's Thomas Ramos just flirting with that offside line again, trying to force line speed. Bottia's back on the field, but Carabarlo, again, the quality of the kick, then chasing his own work, getting Ntamak on the deck. He has made those 3 points for his side.
Now, finally, Greg Aldrich. As I said, we haven't seen too much of him. Bottia back on for Bordeaux. Confirmation on your screens.
Lâchez ici, c'est bon.
There's the kick. And it's going straight into the hands of Ramos, who responds with one very much the same.
Encore. C'est en arrière,
went
le ballon est
backwards.
rentré.
Oh, my word. Greg Aldrich nearly making a very bad knock on in his own 22.
He's been lucky there that nobody's come up to contest to follow up that kick. A little bit too much on it by Thomas Ramos. Greg Aldrich, a little bit of a let off there.
I mean, the thing is, both teams have had that extra week off, of course, because they finished in the first and the second positions. They didn't play the playoffs. So, you know, they've had that time to regroup. Toulouse went down and did a training camp in Portugal. La Rochelle just worked really hard and stayed on the west coast and put themselves back into their mindset. But you can just, it shouldn't be about fatigue or anything now. Big kick down into the corner. Ramos, lots of time, lots of space. We saw a bit of a kicking contest in the San Sebastian last weekend. The fans really didn't like it. We didn't really appreciate it too much, did we? I think, how many kicks were there, Johnny? I think we were probably about 10?
10, 15. And I thought Toulouse was going to pop that one in quickly. Not much pressure in backfield. He opts to concede the territory, and his forward pack will have to execute the line out to exit.
We didn't have enough time to pop away to have a limonade, did we, you know, on this occasion? But the fact is that everybody's trying to play that territory game.
Oh, nobody wants to give an inch.
Bogarec, Skelton gets it out. It's been picked up there. Bottia's first touch of the ball since he came back on. Willis is trying to make the turnover and jackal and do the damage at the breakdown. Doesn't happen on that occasion.
Great hustle by Antoine Dupont, the +1.
Oh, it's a good, nicely done. Just ghosting between two players. Brice Toulon takes the ball out of the 22. Again, you can see they're taking the ball forward. They're trying to find ways of dealing with this Toulouse defence. Opportunities. Oh! He's off! Dylan Lads needs to get the ball, keep it alive. It's been picked up by Donty. Doesn't have many options. He needs support now. And that was exceptional from Dylan Lads. They go, they've got players. They need to get moving. They need to push up. Boudin gets the ball out. Raymond Rule flies off his feet like an arrow into the 22. La Rochelle on the attack. Carballo, they go again. This time it's Skelton. Skelton goes deep. They need to keep the ball moving, otherwise it's going to be problematic. It's thrown over the top, but it's thrown into the hands of Roman Intimac. Toulouse on the attack. He's got past his man. Another man as well. The ball's been kicked forward. That's going to go a little bit too far, I think. And it goes out of play. We go back to where it's kicked.
Soutini looks in real bother in backfield as well. But again, this game can just change in a second. Toulouse feeling they can get real joy going to the air. That's the third or fourth time they've challenged Tomo Ramos and come up with the contest. Dylan Lads winning that ball, and they're causing absolute chaos. And with the quality of athletes we've got on show, Robbie, this game can change in an instant. The quality and the size of the collisions again. Use the contest. Dylan Lads, Ramos completely misjudges it. Great saving tackle by Intimac as well. And this by the tight five forwards. It's Coe and Arnold getting across. Scrambling in defense. This game has got absolutely everything. We're on 34, 35 minutes.
Soutini, a little bit dazed after crashing into Intimac. Honestly, it looked like he was going to be out cold, but he's back up on his feet, hard as nails, of course. And a very important player, of course, the Samoan international.
He took part in the 2019 World Cup. He'll be looking forward to another one here in France.
Got more responsibility as a leader in the back line. That's what Ronan O'Gara's tried to give him since he came from UBB. They get a penalty from this. That's another little victory for La Rochelle. Aldigueri just putting his knees on the ground because of the pressure.
I mean, they've been pinged for having a serial buy that's been pinged for having a knee on the ground, but that scrum you saw on this near side between him and Winnie Antonio, the angles, I'm not sure the ref could have picked either one of them. They were both at 45 degrees.
And the kick goes into the corner, into the 22. Through Steenkamp. You'd be quite happy with the last couple of scrums.
It's instantaneous. 45 degrees. They both turn at the same time. Good luck refereeing that.
Big George-Henri Colombe. Penalty count, Toulouse for 6, La Rochelle 5. Might come down to discipline.
Critically, at scrum time, that's the second one. Second scrum penalty against Toulouse.
Line out, Boudehens is the target. He gets it again. Now let's see how well organised they are. They're trying to keep Miafu, they're trying to keep Richie Arnold's hands to get anywhere near the ball carrier. That's their mission. That comes out this time. Taken forward by Dante. Dante gets over the game line. Picked up by Carvalho. Comes out. There's a good opportunity here. They need to keep the ball moving. Little chip through. Oh, did that get a touch from Ramos? I don't think so. It's going to be a line out for Toulouse, I think.
Brice Dulin thinks it should be.
Yeah, I think so too.
For La Rochelle. But this contest is phenomenal. Again, you see the effort to stop Manny Miafu, the smile on his face trying to get through.
It is going to be a
ball does come off the hand of Arthur Retière.
Yeah, they get the line out. 3 minutes before the end of this first half. And we'll get a reaction at half-time with a player or two from Angus. But before that, let's focus on what we've got here, Johnny, because this is the perfect scenario for La Rochelle to try and come back. We could be all square going into the changing rooms, because it is just about those small little moments. The game can turn around completely.
It's a big opportunity for them just before half-time to convert. They haven't had too much field position. They've really tried to launch from their maul. They will go again and try and pressurise Toulouse, at least come away with a penalty, get over the whitewash.
Now watch out, it goes to Boudehens, tapped back, Carvalho ducking and diving, tries to go underneath defenders. Rumat goes down, it's there for the taking. They can get their hands on it. Is that a turnover ball? Toulouse have got their hands on the ball. Somehow they've managed to turn things around miraculously. Oh, spillage. What a mistake. That is just a horrible situation there for Toulouse. And he gets his head up. He knows that he's made the mistake. Francois Cross is the player.
It's Manny Miafu again. All season long, he's been an absolute pest in the contest area for such a big man. Talk about pressure, the biggest of stages. Wins the turnover. Possession is back, and then they cough it straight back up again. You can see the stress for Hugo Mola. La Rochelle get another bite, this time from scrum, where they've been dominant as well in the first period.
To Corey. So the knock-ons, 5 for Stade Toulousain, just 1 for La Rochelle. Here's Carvalho. Puts the ball in. La Rochelle with a golden opportunity, a minute and a half before the half-time whistle. Comes out, picked up by Greg Aldred. Greg Aldred! Greg Aldred! How far can he go? Meter out. Need to bide their time. Will Skelton will try and carry that. It's not going. It comes out, Carvalho this time! He's grounded it! I think that's a try, that is a try! La Rochelle get themselves a 5-pointer with just over a minute to go. The sniper, the sneaky play from the All Black, a remarkable score. And now it's just a 2-point game before the conversion.
Perfect timing. It's Greg Aldred again with the control at the base. And a big carry goes through into Mac and gets La Rochelle on the front foot. And Carvalho steps off his left. Evades the tackle of Julien Marchand, goes through Miafu. And Dorian Aldeguerri. And propels La Rochelle back into this final. What a game.
It most definitely takes something special to drive through the forwards like that when you're the scrum half and final of the top 14. Quite remarkable. Hastoy has the chance to level things up perfectly at the 40-minute mark. Oh my word, I don't think that Molière could have scripted anything more drama-filled than this scenario here tonight. The half-time scores, 13 points for Toulouse, 13 for La Rochelle, heading into the second half.
Incredible how the 2 tries came about, Robbie. You consider the turnover forced by Intimac, the run-in by Choco Barras. Then Francois Cros coughs up position. Kerr Barlow capitalises. This game is so nicely poised.
And we're going to get a reaction from Jack Willis.
Quite a hard-hitting first half that you came up against. Now you went in front, but they've come back right on half-time. How do you deal with that in the second half?
I think we've got to make sure that we keep them out of our 22 and our territory. When we were playing in their half, we felt quite comfortable. They've also got a physical pack, good maul, so we've got to keep them out of our 22.
How do you feel that it is going for Toulouse? Are you managing to put the game the way you want to play?
I think we definitely started that way, but towards the back end of the half, we lost our discipline a little bit and gave them access, so we need to improve that area.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys.
We have Raymond Rule coming in as well. Raymond, well, it started to go wrong a little bit in that first half, and then a big comeback towards half-time.
Yeah, no, I think that's just been a combination of our year thus far. We've struggled a bit in games, but I think we've got enough grit to come back and fight, and luckily the second 20 has gone our way a little bit, yeah.
Are you finding it easier to attack them this time? Because it was really difficult in the rain here 2 years ago.
Look, I mean, the conditions are the way they are. You know, we just play rugby. And I think they came out and they're giving us a good run and trying to get our big boys behind the game line. But now we're doing well thus far, so we just have to fix a couple of stuff, but otherwise we're good.
Well, we're looking at seeing it in the second half.
Yeah, there we go. Raymond Rule, of course, and Jack Willis. They fought back valiantly. Yes, they have. Choco Barras with that 23rd minute try. Kerr Barlow, 39. A couple of missed kicks there that could prove to be very important at the end. But there's so much rugby to be played. This is an arm wrestle, but this is French rugby, the way that we love it. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back for the second half. Please don't go away, because there's going to be so much more drama coming your way. We'll see you in most definitely been teed up with something of the highest order, a battle between these giants, the players coming back out onto the pitch. But we really knew that today was going to be not just a clash of the titans, but a clash of two rugby giants now who can make adjustments on the pitch, who can work really hard to get themselves the winning recipe even when they're down, because they've proven time and time again over the past couple of years what they're both capable of doing. Toulouse, it's been, a couple of decades, of course, even more so.
It's been really interesting as well, reflecting on that during the break. A few of those key statistics. La Rochelle actually, on paper, dominated that first half. 60% territory, 65% possession. Antoine Dupont, Robbie, 13 touches total in the first half. I can't remember another half of rugby where he's had so few touches. Greg Aldritz carried really hard. Kerr Barlow, contrast, 41 touches on the ball. So look, a second half really nicely poised. Will be defined by who can get their hands on the ball and dominate possession, earn themselves some go forward, and crucially take some points. We saw Antoine Astoy miss a couple. He left 6 points out there in the first half. 13 points apiece at the half. As the sun comes down in Paris, second half here at the Stade de France.
And we're just waiting for un petit peu de magie. Yeah, un petit peu de magie. This will happen in the second half. So much will come into the game now. Now we can take a look at some of the battles and how they'll be won, because there's a lot at stake here as we get the second half underway. Greg Aldred, very clean catch from the restart.
Pas les mains au sol d'abord, direct au ballon. 5, merci.
And La Rochelle in their own 22, looking to clear their lines with Carvalho, who has been playing some fantastic rugby time and time again. And taken quickly there, and Ramos. And look at that. That's one way of dealing with someone who's racing forward. And you can see that Arthur Retier taken out by his former teammate at La Rochelle, of course, Levani Botia.
Clearly a ploy from Toulouse as well. You could see La Rochelle in the first period taking a minute almost to get to line out and execute and get the game going. Toulouse wanting to get things straight away, quickly up and running.
Roumat off the chop. Dupont to the hands of Intermac. They get to the halfway line. Dupont again. He's made so many touches. That's a wild pass, that is. And Souteni comes up and just makes sure that that doesn't come out, putting pressure on him. Now, watch out. Counter-rucking, they get the penalty. Brilliant start for the men in yellow.
Just shows the detail required. One inaccurate pass.
14 noirs.
One big collision for La Rochelle on the front foot. They flood that contact again. Sloppy from Toulouse as well. Second phase coming round the corner. That ball should stick.
But it just goes to show it's exactly the same scenario. We saw Jonathan Donty lose the ball. Choco Barris picked it up and went and scored, of course. So we're in a scenario where you can't make mistakes like that. The kick into the corner, absolutely sublime. But that pass back there, just not good enough.
And the quality by the back line. It's Donty and Souteni with a counter-up. Interesting choice not to go for points. They want to take this game by the scruff of the neck. They've gone to the corner.
Yeah, but they feel the momentum's in their side of the park as well, as we see Bourgarit just sending it into the hands of Bourgarit, into the hands of Eldrit. It's been picked up. He's in a legal position there, Costo. There it is. Carvalho gets the ball out. Jonathan Donty. He's got a bit of support from Souteni. Goes ducking and diving around the outside, still on his feet. He's been flung down by Antoine Dupont. Lades picks it up. Strong, sturdy, physical defence there. Skelton crashes into the 22 a little bit deeper this time. Donty, another player. Oh, is that a turnover ball? It looks like it's been stolen. That is remarkable stuff. How on earth did he get his hands on that? Jack Willis is a marvel of modern-day science. Dupont into the hands of Intermac. The clearance kick takes them not outside of their own half. What Willis did there.
Oh, great defensive set. This was really clever play as well. The ball goes over the 15, so Miafu and Francois Crowe, they wrap round and infiltrate through that maul. Again, the physicality. It's Antoine Dupont taking out the trash. First it's Souteni. He follows up on Dylan Leds, and Jack Willis, one of the best jacklers in world rugby at the minute. Another big turnover, big defensive set for Toulouse.
And a big, important line-out this is for La Rochelle. Oh, it's nicely taken there. Boudehen doing well. Donty. Human steamroller just driving through. Oh, look, Bourgarit, he's free. He's free, he's still going, still going. No one can bring him down. They got players on the outside. If they can get it out, they're going to get it out. Surely they're going to get it out. Astoy didn't make the pass. It's still there, and it's over. Antonio, Willy Antonio, crashes over from close range and saves the day for La Rochelle. And that is another try. They move ahead 18-13, and Antonio is the man.
passe réelle, le jaune est arrêté, c'est votre 7 qui vient se consommer sur lui. Mais vous savez pertinemment qu'on revérifie.
It's the Ronan O'Gara effect again. Stade Toulousain players are asking, has number 7 on his back, Francois Cros, been stopped by blockers, but it's the quality of the attack. Again, the soft, gentle hands by Greg Aldrit. The clean is good, and Winnie Antonio from that range, no stopping him.
Merci.
Antoine Dupont asking for crossing. But this is a starter play, it's a launch play we see time and time again. Really well set up to play by Ronan O'Gara, who leads the attack for La Rochelle.
A big statement since the restart. And Hastoy tries to nail the conversion, and he does. Wow, what a scenario. 13 points for Stade Toulouse and 20 now for La Rochelle. They can take a 7-point lead.
Really nice launch, all you need. Again, we saw it in the Champions Cup final. Hold on to ball and fire a shot. The quality of the attack, doing the damage, creating the space. Wonderful launch play by La Rochelle.
And Aldrit takes a clean take from the air from the restart. 13 points to 20 gives us a chance to go down and talk to Angus Turode. Angus, seen there's a little bit of movement, that the players are warming up on both sides, of course. There are probably going to be some changes pretty soon, I imagine.
Well, undoubtedly they will start to change things around, but what a fantastic final this is building into. La Rochelle being able to bring the power to Toulouse that they were unable to do 2 years ago, and there's some real belief and some real needle as well. It's all kicking off about 10 metres away from me as players come piling in from all directions. It's Levani Botia who's at the bottom of the pile, which explains why the La Rochelle players are getting so upset. He came off because of that HIA in the first half. But this is the heavyweight battle that we were hoping it would be.
Yeah, just stay out of there, Angus, OK? Don't get involved in all of that. Promise?
I'll do my best.
Oh, this is it. This is the moment that Ramos picks the ball up. Just look who he runs into there, Johnny.
La Rochelle starting to get the small wins, the psychological edge, dominating those collisions.
Le ballon est libéré. Je ne veux plus voir de joueurs qui viennent pousser. Vous libérez les ballons.
Mr. Trainee just wants to release the ball when the ball's been, when the ball's gone out of play. Just don't go any further. Leave it, let it go, and don't get involved. I don't want to see any more like that. Otherwise, there will be a bit of trouble.
Le problème, c'est que votre 14 n'est pas nickel non plus.
The La Rochelle fans starting to make quite a lot of noise here, just like they did in Dublin.
They are, but they're calm. You can see the reaction of Ronan O'Gara up in his spot. Discipline will have been massive as well. They've conceded 3 red cards in the last 75 games. All 3 of them have been against Toulouse. They will not want to give an inch.
Rumat just told to get back on side. Kerballo goes digging for it, gets it out, and it's been picked up by Hastoy. Hastoy, Raymond Rule's going to be chasing. Let's see how far he can get. He goes up for it. Oh, he just knocks it forward, and it will be Toulouse who have possession. They go on a little bit of a dance. Peter Aki, we haven't even seen him with the ball in hand, gets it out. Labelle, watch out for the footwork. He is snazzy when he gets going, there's no doubt about it. They go again. This time it's Alexander Rumat, the former UBB player, first season for Toulouse. Dupont, Mirfou, big hits coming in. Big man goes down. Cyril Bay this time. Antonio flying into Marchand. He looks like he's been... Yeah, he's not in a great state, claims Monsieur Trainini. Here they go again. Oh, Richie Arnold. Hit very hard. Dupont this time gets the ball out. Toulouse looking for options. There's some tired legs out there now, Johnny, I can promise you that, and there's more than half an hour to go.
And there's bodies splayed everywhere. The ref might picking up Antonio, maybe a little bit ginger. Julian Marchand as well, clutching a shoulder after a collision.
Dupont. This is an opportunity here. Aki doesn't find a way through. Choco Barras, we know what he's capable of doing. Meets Monsieur Jonathan Donty. They go again. It's the short passes, they're coming up quickly. Oh, good hands, beautiful hands, very smooth hands. It's player out wide, but it doesn't get that far. Cut off the connection. Watch out for Willis. Bottia's coming in from the side, flying off his feet to try and grab hold of the ball. They got a penalty. Richie Arnold this time. Got to be careful. I tell you what, none of these teams would like to lose a player in such a critical moment of the game. Bottia just coming off his feet and grabbing hold of the ball. You know, the flying Fijian, that's exactly what he does. And picked out by Monsieur Trenini.
Un plaquage à la tête, c'est ça? Ok. Du numéro 3. Ok, Eric, si tu as une image, tu me fais signe.
They're looking for a TMO. They're questioning the tackle.
C'est tenté.
Winnie Antonio.
Prends le temps.
Potential foul play.
Oui, non, je dis on prend le temps pour regarder s'il y a un jeu déloyal du numéro 3.
Manny Miafu through three La Rochelle defenders.
Vous avez jusqu'à la reprise du jeu.
But the quality as this game loosens up a little bit, Toulouse. Oh, the quality of the tackle from Karabarlo on Manny Miafu. Just starting to get the offloads going. It's Bottia that's paying for going off his feet. And Toulouse opting not to go for the corner like La Rochelle.
It's just trying to take the sting out of the La Rochelle attack at the moment, because they've been on fire, and this has been a little phase of play that just goes Thomas Ramos's way.
Si on n'a pas d'image, Eric, on reste sur ce chemin.
Ramos converts perfectly, 16 to 20. Oh, that was the hit. Clumsy challenge.
That was the tackle, and we heard on the ref mic as they followed up from that penalty. They couldn't find the image to have a look and see if it was foul play.
And it looks like the Roman Sazi is coming off, and he gets lots of hugs. Is that the last moment? The last moment he's going to be playing as he ends his career at the age of 36 years of age. What a remarkable career he's had at La Rochelle. And he can say that he conquered Europe twice. And maybe, maybe he won a Brennus. We're not there yet, who knows? Roman Sazi coming off. Toulouse in their own 22. It's 16-20. And the clearance kick from Antoine Dupont. Brice Dulin decides not to play it. Being smart about this at the moment, you know, no rush, no real attacking options.
That is an outrageous box kick by Antoine Dupont. Under pressure, Will Skelton raining down, takes his side up to opposition 40. The range he has, both nines. Karabarlo's territorial kicking has been outstanding as well.
Fans having a real fantastic time here. C'est la fête à la Stade de France. Bulgarit. Budahent. He gets in the way, there's a penalty there. Yeah, you can't get in there, Richie Arnold. Just coming across and getting in the way. It was a little bit dangerous. Budahent could have come down quite nastily. Finally, he's okay, but it just gives the ball back to La Rochelle, and Karabarlo will just stick it in the corner.
Yeah, Richie Arnold just getting his timing a little bit wrong, coming across the line, showing an ugly picture to the ref and making it easy, and they go from a great clearance kick to now defending in their 22. As we see the reverse image coming through before the line-out's finished. Also Manny Miafu taking the back lifter. You had 2 penalties to choose from. They're gonna have to defend another set, but this time in their own 22.
Important line out for La Rochelle. Perfectly taken. Again, they go for Budahent. Around the side it goes with Bulgarit. Can't get down and jackal the ball. And it's Carvalho who goes digging for it. Antonio over the top. Players coming down to try and steal the ball. Well, Bugarit does really, really well. A little bit of support. Comes out, drop goal, Hastoy! And he pulls that wide.
Kurt Barlow gives him the thumbs up for the communication, getting the attempt, but the execution a little bit off. Big defense again from Toulouse. Pressure as well, and then Chase just drags it left. Toulouse off the hook though, that was a big defensive set. They don't want to be pinged inside their 22. Whoever retains and holds on to ball in the opposition 22 will be absolutely dangerous in this game.
I think in order to answer your question, this is the first time.
Angus, I think we've got a couple of changes coming up. I can see there's some movement down there.
Yes, indeed, they are going to be making a couple of changes. Like Mania is coming on for Toulouse, and alongside him, Thibaut Flamand as well, our favourite Loughborough student, who is coming on and had such an effect last week after coming on for the first time in a while.
Yeah, concussion in Dublin against Leinster. Saw him miss a couple of weeks, had to get himself right. Arthur Retier replaced by Juan Cruz Malia, the Cordoba man from Argentina. And Thibaut Flamand spent a bit of time in Argentina himself as well. Well, the banana kick, looking for a 50-22. Is that still in? Oh my word, how did Romain Tamac do that?
And the La Rochelle bench appealing that ball's gone out. Really naively done by Toulouse. Hugo Mola loves it, but they've kicked the ball off with a restart. And they haven't defended. Watch this, there's nobody in backfield. Romain Tamac has to tear across from under the posts. Really strange organisation. Again, this man with his skill set outside of the boot. Romain Tamac saves the day.
Oh, it's a botched line out. Comes back quickly, Dupont unable to deal with it. Picked up by Malia. Malia played fly half for Toulouse during the doublon, which is, when the Six Nations takes place, the top 14 continues. Here's Dupont with a big box kick. A couple of players chasing it, including Willis. Willis goes up. Raymond Rule makes it safe, but watch out for the steamrolling counter-rucking. Stole it illegally.
He's got that one wrong, Jack Willis. He looks disappointed. Thibaut Flamand causing havoc, though, was his first intervention. A line-out steal that breaks the game up.
Now this time, let's see if the kick is good. It looks like it's not got into the 22, but it most definitely allows them to camp out down in the Toulouse half. They've got a 4-point lead.
The initial contest, just as that ruck has already formed. Donnacha Ryan watches on. And that's Toulouse up to 9 penalties conceded already.
Lespiok replacing Pierre Bugarit in the front row. Perfectly picked up by Aldrit. Good safe hands. They're more like grapple hooks, aren't they, Johnny? Taken forward, here's Donsi. Donsi does what Donsi does best. Oh, it's a brilliant little sniper move around the fringes. Donsi picks the ball up once again. Look at Flamand coming up. Bottia this time. Oh, he's under a little bit of pressure. Big charge this time. And La Rochelle still in possession. Lespiok does well. Bugarit's there. The Jackals are down there. And there's lots of them. The ball does come out. Antonio, little kick down into the corner. It's not a bad idea, this. He needed to do something because they were scrambling a little bit. Hastoy produces a little bit of wizardry.
Yeah, smart play by Antoine Hastoy, just turning the screw, the pressure back onto Toulouse, forcing them to play out from deep. The pressure again by this man, Thibaut Flamand, who's been instrumental both for Toulouse and for the French side for the past 2 years now.
Angus, I think we got a change in the front row.
Yeah, big, an emotional one as well, with Charlie Faumina coming on in his last game for Toulouse, where he's turned down another extension with Toulouse. So this will be the last time we see the All Black great on a rugby field.
Charlie Faumina, 50-cap All Black, replacing Aldegheri. Oh, what a legend.
One of the best who've ever done it in the top 14 and on the world stage. Probably one of the best tight heads to have ever played the game. An absolute barrel, exceptional scrummager, physical.
Just look at these images and look at the Tour Eiffel in the background there, just a little bit further south, just to give you an idea of just how magnifique France is, Paris. I hope you're going to all come along and support rugby come September for the Rugby World Cup. It's going to be amazing. A lot of these players are going to be running out onto the pitches across this fantastic country as we see Richie Arnold coming off. And Manny Miafu is another player who's hobbling off, which is a bit concerning. Angus, can you get any further information on the state of affairs with Miafu?
Well, he's definitely limping. Alman Placine is about to come on to replace him. Piato Moaka is also about to come on as well. I'll see if I can grab a little word with him and see how he is.
Thank you, Angus.
Step back. Step back.
Toulouse pegged back in their own 22. There's the clearance from Dupont. I'm just wondering if Dupont's kicked the ball more than he's actually passed the ball tonight. That's not Dupont, the one that we know. Just inside of his own 22. Perfectly picked up. Leitz, he knows how to turn things around. Here's the run, the racing out. Here's Ntamak, gets tackled just after a couple of meters of making inroads. Picked up by Cyril Bay. Cyril Bay on this occasion. And Dupont picks it up, decides not to go for Flamand. Ball comes out as an opportunity. Willis running into traffic. And the Yellow Army look to try and jackal the ball once again. The ball's out, and Bottier can go for it. He's been held up. Donzi's stolen it, but gotta release the tackled player. And a little bit of backlash, verbal backlash, and they get 10 meters.
Couple of really smart bits of play by Antoine Dupont. Firstly, the box kick out of his territory on his left foot. Second, wanted to charge onto ball, held his ground, called the mark. And thirdly, he gets caught at the base of the scrum, of the ruck, sorry. Bottier comes around, grabs him, but watch this, gets his knee to the deck. That means they have to release. They don't, they rip the ball because they think the turnover is good, they're in a maul. And then the bit of back chat comes, another 10 meters. And an opportunity for Toulouse to chip another 3 points away from this lead.
Let's go and catch up with Angus. You got some breaking news for us.
Yeah, a quick word with Manu Miafu, and I saw that he was bleeding from his left knee, so I went over them and said, "Is that the reason you come off?" He said, "No," he said, "my foot hurts." So he's come off with an injury, but it's the ankle, the right ankle, that's made him come off.
Thanks, Angus. Look at that for a kick. That is fantastic. It's a one-point game, and Stade Toulousain clamber back, and the fans flapping their flags as if they're confident of a comeback, a remontada.
Why, willing their side to a top 14 title. That's at 80,000 people in tonight. The atmosphere absolutely huge. As Winnie Antonio bows out for this evening.
Lots of changes taking place as well, with Mo Vaca as well, and I think Alexander Roumat's come off as well. Taken safely in their own 22. Toulouse will try and clear their lines. As Sclavius come on for Wadi. Picks up Brice Doulan. Little banana kick. He tries to backtrack into his own half to try and say that it was a 50-22, but they made a mistake at the back.
It's not a 50-22 because it was touched in flight. But again, the quality of the kick by Brice Dulin, he's so good off his left peg. On the outside of his left foot, Greg Aldred in backfield still asking for the 50-22. They don't understand, but it was touched in flight.
Oh, a little bit of competition in the line-out. Willis in contention for a caller for England, of course, for the Rugby World Cup in September.
Toulouse have gotten away with that one. That was badly underthrown. Nearly pinched at the tail without even a line-out lifter.
Big kick there from Dupont. Taken quickly, Dulin. Tries to go running, he's isolated, you've got to be careful. Toulouse love those scenarios. There you go, it's just an opportunity. You can't do that, don't take risks against Toulouse.
And that's the first real time that La Rochelle have tried to run out of backfield. Greg Aldred popping the ball back into his fullback, Brice Dulin, expecting probably at this stage a high ball, a territory chase. But Dulin goes for it, runs into traffic, 3 defenders.
It's just one of those decisions where you just got to be smart. You know, you can't produce miracles. Look at the players that are coming. You've got Ntamak, you've got Choco Barrett, and then afterwards 2-3 more players coming your way. That's why Crow's there.
It wasn't on. That was never on to run, and it's not in the DNA or the style of that man. If it's not on, if it's not clear as day, you're wanting your fullback to stick that ball high, long, give you something to chase.
Melvin Chaminade watches on it.
And Toulouse from nothing. 2 penalties in quick succession, a chance to nudge themselves back ahead in this final.
And the kick is good. And they now have a 2-point lead. Stade Toulousain turn things around, swing the pendulum in their own direction. And you look, even if we've got a fantastic wiggle like that, you're not going to be smiling having seen your lead snatched away so quickly. Both of those 2 penalties have come from box kick clearances from their own 22. Unforgivable for La Rochelle. Oh, that's surely a knock-on. Well, mistake there coming from that man, Alban Placine.
La Rochelle
could have been a penalty. Because it came off and, it was accidental there from Cross because it got knocked backwards, but...
It's interesting to see La Rochelle actually changing up their strategy at restart time. They pinged to the corners that time a little bit more off centre of the post, forcing Alban Placine to chase and come forward. Boudin with a decent kick chase as well. And they get a chance to strike straight back, a heart of opposition 22, a big scrum. Antonio off the field. Sclavi and Colombe now scrumming down.
Allez. Bien en haut tous les deux après l'impact. En place, monsieur.
Alexandre Roumat, first season for Toulouse, cemented his position so quickly. What he does in the line-out is unbelievable. Extraordinary player.
He's done really well. Across the back row, can play 6, 7 or 8. Still to be involved really and get a first cap with Fabien Galtier's French squad, but came with the weight of being the son of Olivier Roumat. He's had an outstanding first season for Toulouse.
Big scrum from La Rochelle. They get the penalty advantage. Greg Aldred off the back, still stays up on his feet. Got the advantage. What can they do with this? And they will get their penalty. And do you know what? Get the impression that every little error from now on If it's in kicking range, you go for the sticks.
If there's one area that La Rochelle have dominated in this game, it's been scrum time. That's now the 4th scrum penalty. You can see the weight coming through, tight head side. Georges-Henri Colombe dominating Cyril Bay. Sclavi as well, the force popping up. Charlie Falmaina.
Well, that's a victory for Ronan O'Gara. Now, to Carvalho. Bit of cramp, it looks like. But there's going to be lots of changes taking place in a minute. Angus, we're going to come down to you. We can see that there's going to be a bit of movement. They're bringing on some of the cavalry that they've got on that La Rochelle bench, I believe.
Yes, they're going to change their loose head prop. Rodrigue Netti is going to come on, and also Salvatio Tolofua for Toulouse. And the 2 lock forwards for La Rochelle are also coming on as well. Remy Bordeaux, who took a knock in the semi-final last week, and Ulten Delan, the Irishman.
Yes, indeed. Former product player. Born in Paris, in fact. Mother from Ireland, father from the Côte d'Ivoire. There's Netti. On he comes, and Rodrigue Netti from New Caledonia, French international as well. Get rid of it is probably the phrase of the day when you're in your 22, up against Toulouse. Don't mess around.
Quick word, Robbie. Lavani Boccia has come off, and they put some ice immediately on his left hand, and he looks in quite a lot of pain.
Well, thanks, Angus. Lips in pain. Does he show it? I don't know. Listen, Toulouse starting to pass the ball around. This is dangerous play. Oh, he manages to make the break. Malia's the man. Dupont starting to come to the fore, isn't he? 13 to go. A little bit of zip about him. Falmoina runs into trouble. Little dinky chip over the top. Picked up there by Brice Dulin. Dulin meets the forwards in this Toulouse team. Comes to a halt.
C'est bon ici?
Carvalho.
Un jeu, messieurs. Ballon rentré par les jambes.
Well, that's a knock-on. And that is very frustrating for Romain Tomac. But for La Rochelle, they'll take whatever they can. Just came off his chest there, Johnny.
Awkward bounce. The kick again by Brice Dulin, just bounces in front of him, tries to control it with his foot, but it bounces up. A little bit casual maybe, but didn't really have another choice apart from to attack that low ball. Cost the ball back up to La Rochelle. Another scrum where they've been very comfortable.
And there's the replacement at number 9 for La Rochelle. Thomas Bergeon replaces Touera Carvalho. Gets a bit of a rest. What an impressive performance he's had, scoring that try. And a big score for Carvalho. Bergeon, of course, played in that European Champions Cup final. Carvalho had a finger injury. Craig Aldrett takes it forward. It's there for the taking. Bergeon gets the ball into the hands of Thomas Lavaux. Bergeon, ducking and diving, finally gets knocked to the ground by Choco Barres. Sclavi there, the carry, and a kick this time. Oh, spillage from Ramos, and that is going to be... It's a penalty, right?
If that's gone forward,
yeah,
it has to be a penalty. It's another spill by Thomas Ramos in the backfield. He hasn't looked comfortable at all. And as we've gone through the collisions, La Rochelle not able to generate go-forward ball. They've gone to air to contest again. Another turnover. That's the 8th knock-on from Toulouse. And that's a crucial one, just outside the 22. Under no real pressure. It's Alban Placine in front of the ball, picks it up. Another cheap penalty to give away. But the strategy is working for La Rochelle, going to the air, testing Ramos. And another error.
Get your bagpipes out and celebrate if you can. If you're a La Rochelle supporter. The West Coast boys. 9.5 minutes away. From potentially winning their first ever Brennus, but... Or Toulouse, will it be Toulouse? Some familiar patterns there with the garments, Johnny. They're having a party in a big way. It's not over yet. Toulouse very much with a chance of clinching that 22nd top 14 title. Ball taken well by Greg Aldred. Hasn't had a massive game tonight, but he's done things pretty well, hasn't he?
He's done the simple things really well. His carries from the base have been excellent. His carries from backfield, from kick, ping pong, or from restarts have been solid. His hard graft, his hard yards. But that's what you want. He's one of the best number 8s in the world consistently. Now for 2-3 seasons, he grinds away every single week. He's done that again tonight.
But it's you know, it's one of those players who puts in the work that doesn't get seen sometimes, you know. And you've got to get it yourself into the right field positions. You've got to be in the right position to defend. You've got to support your players who are driving, you know, into the defence, ready for jackling, ready for support play, the driving moves, all of that. And Greg Aldred is one of the best in the business. Dupont. Oh, Dupont tries to go, sneaking around down near the paint. Counter-rucking galore, but it's not happening for La Rochelle on this occasion. Taking the ball forward. This time, Toulouse trying to work their magic with Celebasio Tolofua. Richie Arnold back on the pitch. 7.5 minutes to go. Roman Ntamak, he does that so well. Dancing and ghosting himself. Well, they got the penalty there, Dante. Give Toulouse the chance to try and kick for 3, but they need more than 3. Penalty it is. Dante making a mistake. Can't make mistakes like that at this time of the game. Any time of the game.
What will Toulouse opt to do here, Robbie? 7 minutes to go. Do they chip away the lead? They're going to the corner.
Yeah, but you know,
Ntamak has missed.
That is absolutely unforgiving for Ntamak. He knows it. Well. Just look at that, the outside of the right boot. He normally absolutely nails his kicks. On that occasion, the French number 10 makes a grave mistake.
Quite incredible as well. On this, of all the stages, completely sclaffed off the outside of his right boot. Almost looked like he got his ball dropped completely wrong.
And now we look at the scrum and look at some of the stats for the La Rochelle scrum. They've been bossing it big time. Bergeron feeds it in. Aldred at the back. They are pummeling Stade Toulousain once again. Aldred takes it off the back. Skelton made a mistake there. He's a bit lucky there, isn't he?
I think we've just seen the biggest moment in the game, Robbie. That was Toulouse's chance
Don't go on the side, okay?
to build something a maul with 5 minutes to go to get themselves back in front. And momentum is such a big piece in rugby. You lose that chance, you have to defend the scrum. You concede another scrum penalty. You go from opting or nearly attacking the opposition 5 metre to now defending your own 22. momentum now with La Rochelle.
But just look at the pumping pistons of those boys pushing forward. That is just extraordinary. Favre comes on for Dante. And 5 minutes to go. Well, it goes backwards. Delane does really well. Slavi, the Argentinian, still on his feet, brought down by Flamon. Picks up by Aldrich, goes very low to try and deal with Movaca. They got more chances, going around the outside. Watch out, Brice Doulan's about. Just falls off his feet there. Oh, he's just been knocked off his feet, Bergeron. It was out, and he should have picked it up and gone for it. Toulouse, super dangerous in their own 22, but there aren't numbers, and they now need to be careful. He's been chopped down in a big way, player down, and he's hurt. And look at this. Stopped the game because he's down and he's hurt himself. And Dupont and Bergeron just falling away from each other. And Quentin Lespiac, the hooker, down on the ground. He didn't look well when he fell.
Well, the game's been stopped. The referee just explaining. He was knocked out. He felt he had to stop the game. And player health and welfare is absolutely the most important thing.
Angus, we're coming down to you. The La Rochelle bench, just give us a description.
Well, at the moment, Pierre Bourgarit is getting a hug from the coaches. There's a fair amount of smiling going on, but I wouldn't say they're celebrating yet. It's a sort of like a mix of nerves and sort of like what might be.
I think it's exactly that, isn't it? We got no idea. There you can see, that was the hit. He just went down quite low, knocked over Lespiac. Bourgarit's waiting to come on, but more importantly, we're just going to get the lay of the land. Bourgarit's back up on his feet. I think he's okay. Lespiac, sorry. He's coming off. Bourgarit has to go on. There's concussion protocol.
HIA, but the upshot of that, the turnover comes for Toulouse. Ntamak again not looking sure, running across his own backline in the 22. Stop the game for the HIA, but they'll restart with a scrum where La Rochelle, they'll be happy to restart the game with a scrum.
And look, they're just looking confident, the fans. I wouldn't be confident if I was anybody until the final whistle's been blown when you're playing against Toulouse.
Hey, they're starting to believe, though. What are the chances of Ntamak missing that kick to touch? That gets compounded a scrum penalty. They're starting to get that lift. They believe with 5 minutes to go. You can see again the stress, the drama for the Toulouse supporters. Again, quiet. Are we about to witness history? Is this going to be the first ever top 14 title for La Rochelle? 4 minutes to go.
Keloui Barassi replaces Choco Barras. Bourgarit replaces Lespiac. Let's see where this is going. They get it out quickly, they have to. Cholafua gets it out. Ntamak, Barassi. Tries to bite into this La Rochelle defence. Dupont. Flamon that takes it forward. Ntamak once again. Peter Aki will be playing for Tonga. The Rugby World Cup in September. Along with Adam Coleman as well, Falau, etc. 3 minutes. 3 minutes for Toulouse to get 4 or 5 points. Big hit there on Flamon. It's a smashing hit from Bordeaux. Ramos tries to side through the La Rochelle defence. The ball comes out. An opportunity here. Peter Aki tries to slalom his way between these defenders, but they're holding on. They're holding on for their lives. So much tension in the air. 2.5 minutes. Toulouse trail by 4. Charlie Falmorino, oh, it's a bit wild, but it's been picked up by a maestro. Ramos runs into the yellow wall again. Antoine Dupont this time. Comes out, he's made his way past 2 players, 3 players, 4 players. Roman Ntamack! Roman Ntamack! No way! No way! Unbelievable! I don't think anybody can believe it. World class! Roman Ntamack! La creme de la creme! 2 minutes to go. 5 points. And now they're ahead. Oh my word! C'est incroyable!
What a moment for Roman Ntamack. From 0 to hero in a matter of minutes. Is that the moment that clinches the title for Toulouse? What a finish. And a piece of individual brilliance by that man. A slight overread in defence by La Rochelle. One mistake. As the ball comes wide, you could just see it. Souteni comes out of line. That opens up a 5-on-1. Ntamack engages the defensive line and has the pace to finish. And Capuazzo on the Toulouse bench know what that means. Another 45 seconds to take this conversion as well.
And we got one last play until the end.
One last play. Toulouse have to recover the restart. La Rochelle will have to go short and contest this ball and hope that they get it back and roll the dice one more time. But what a final, Robbie.
Oh, this is just incredible. It was deemed to be an epic encounter. We've been given everything you could possibly ask for. And there's the kick. And now the tables have turned once again. The Toulouse fans believe. The La Rochelle fans, it's not the same scenario now. The scenario's changed completely. One kick, and whoever gets it, logically, it goes high. Who gets it? Oh, it's been taken by Malia. They kick this out. 7 seconds. 5, 4. It's going out. Dupont gets the last word, surely. No, it isn't. Roman Ntamack and Toulouse have won it. How they've done it, I've got no idea. This is madness. Incredible. Toulouse win their 22nd Brennus Shield, the Bouclier de Brennus, and they've done it with a last gasp try from Roman Ntamack. The emotions, the scenario, no one could have imagined. Ugo Mola, oh my word, the Toulouse players, the staff. This is quite extraordinary.
Elation, exhilaration for Toulouse, but cruel for La Rochelle. I mean, how cruel is that to be leading, to have defended so well, to have gone through this game, to have led until the second to last minute, and to be burst with one defensive overread, one piece of magic by Roman Ntamack. Toulouse have been here before. They win another title. But oh, so cruel for La Rochelle, Robbie. That is absolutely heartbreaking. You can see for Dylan Ledge, for Greg Aldred. Here we see the replay, just that slight overread comes up by himself. And Roman Ntamack makes the tackle break. He could have gone to the outside, but he backs his pace. Another title won for Stade Toulousain. Every single top 14 final one that they've been part of since 2008. They've won another one in 2023.
Roman Ntamack, I mean...
The relief, Robbie, to have missed that kick to the corner 5 minutes earlier and then to win the game with an individual burst. devastation for Will Skelton and the La Rochelle pack.
Romain Ntamack
Celebrates with his younger brother Theo as well.
Exactly, and you know, we know that Emile will be watching. He'll come down. I mean, the whole family represent Toulouse. They're extraordinary. He doesn't deserve it more than anyone else. That is just a remarkable feat. The exploit of a lifetime. He'll never forget this. But there again, we've seen him score. You know, running out of his own 22 in 6 Nations. You know, a brilliant career ahead of him. There's no doubt about it. It's already a brilliant career. But La Rochelle, you've got to feel for them.
Oh, tears. You can see for the supporters, for Dylan Led's.
Final score here, Toulouse 29, La Rochelle 26. And everybody involved, there's tears, there's emotions, there's everything we could possibly imagine. It is so complicated. Especially everybody can't believe it. No one can believe it. This is like they had victory in the grasp. They were on the cusp of lifting the Bouclier de Brennus, and then with 2.5 minutes to go, their dreams were shattered, all in the space of 2 minutes by this man here.
Utter devastation for La Rochelle. Utter devastation. You can see the emotion for the players now. Absolutely would have been worthy winners. That's the thing. This game easily from the start could have gone either way. And up until 3 minutes from the end, Robbie, it looked like La Rochelle were going to win their first ever Bouclier de Brennus, their first top 14 title. But one moment of magic, completely undone.
It's cruel. It's so cruel.
Oh, that is the nature of professional sport. Heartbreak for one. High drama. Tears of happiness for Romain Ntamack, for his family, and for Toulouse players and staff. Raymond Rule coming to look after Dylan Led's and get him back into the changing rooms.
And you know, the fact is that you'll be walking around just like dazed and confused, and it's just so complicated, isn't it, to actually understand all of what happened in the case of 2.5 minutes.
That is just the speed with which, and we saw how this game ebbed and flowed. How it ebbed and flowed. The lead changed hands several times. One handling error here, a bit of field position coughed up, a chance to attack and take points. That is the nature of this sport at this level when you have the quality that these two sides have. An enthralling top 14 final, one of the best I've ever seen, incredible to follow. And that was it, one chance, a chip in a chair, one shot fired by Romain Ntamack and Toulouse, 2 minutes from the end. Another top 14 title for Ugo Mola.
And there is the moment. That's the magic, isn't it? Romain Ntamack, Ugo Mola. And we're going to hear from Tawera Kerbalo, who's joined Angus Turode.
That was cruel. I mean, it really looked like you were going to win your first Bouclier de Brennus, and then Toulouse just showed why they were a 22-time winning rugby team.
Yeah, look, that's the beauty and the disappointment of rugby, isn't it? And you know, I'm really proud of our boys. But you got to take your hat off to Toulouse there at the end to come through with it. It was a great final, and unfortunately we couldn't come out on top. But congratulations to the lads and in black and red.
It was a great final. It certainly was a very different final to the one 2 years ago. It certainly looked like you've grown, and it looks like now you are pretty much on the same level as Toulouse.
Oh yeah, well, it's difficult to say. You know, they're the better team tonight, and we're bitterly disappointed. But like I said, I'm proud of our lads, and unfortunately it had to end like that. But then again, that's what I was saying before. It's the beauty of sport, and you know, you got to take the good with the bad.
Well, you have every right to be, because you're two-time European champions. You're two-time European champions, so there's always next season, I guess, now. But bad luck for today.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate.
We've got Richie coming in. Richie, congratulations. That was what our commentators were saying, the best final they've ever seen in their lives, and a very different one to the one we experienced 2 years ago.
Yeah, look, it was a very tough match. Credit to La Rochelle, they were awesome, and it came right down to the wire there. Yeah, incredible in front of a massive crowd. It was unbelievable. I'm a little bit, yeah, no words can describe it right now.
Maybe your brother Rory might have a few words for you, though. It's your first season without him here, and you really seem to have grown as a player.
Yeah, look, yeah, I miss Rory. He spoke to me today before the match and gave me some encouragement and some words of advice. And yeah, I'm sure he's in Australia early there and watching the match, and he'll be happy for the lads here.
What will this mean to the people of Toulouse? Because last season was a bit of a disappointment against Castres, but you look right back to it this year.
Yeah, look, we said it this year. We finished #1 after the season matches, and for us, anything less than the title this year was a failure. Last year, we went out in the semi-final, and last year and this year, the goal was to win the title after the disappointment in the Champions Cup. So I'm just so happy for this group. Yeah, unbelievable.
Thank you very much indeed, and congratulations. You're 22-time Top 14 champions now.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, just extraordinary. Great words from that man, Richie Arnold. Nice to hear from him, and you know, just talking about, you know, what it means to him. His brother, of course, you know, Wallaby, came here, won trophies with Toulouse, and lured him to come over, and they played together in the engine room, and now here he is, you know, celebrating his second Brennus.
Oh, look, two incredible rugby players, both the Arnold brothers. Again, you'd hope both of them would feature for Australia during the World Cup under Eddie Jones later this year. But as Angus mentioned in his questioning, now 22-time champions of the top 14, and both those brothers have been part of the history. That's the beauty of the sport, of the fabric of the club, and the dynasty that is Stade Toulousain. As we see the celebrations, it's a family affair. That's it, coaches, players alike, and for the supporters. Didier Lacroix as well, former player and president. Tremendous memories for them. For Antoine Dupont, and for everything that goes with it, another title and memories that last a lifetime.
They came so close. They worked exceptionally hard to get where they were, and they're getting respect from every Toulouse player, because they deserve the respect that they're being given, because this is brilliant, isn't it? You know, the boys from Osh, they played together, you know, when they were young. It's a difficult one, it's a difficult pill to swallow, but you've got to give La Rochelle the credit that they deserve. They're not going to have the big party in the porch. It's not going to happen. But what they will do is pick themselves up and go again. You can bet your money on it, Johnny, because La Rochelle have proved over the past couple of years that, and not just over the past couple of years, over the last 10 years, you know, that you can actually build something. You talk to the president, you know, Vincent Melling, he'll say, you can build something over 20, 30 years. That's exactly what they've done. Look where they are now.
Yeah.
But you've got to get silverware.
I think that's it. The cruel nature of the sport is you can build and build. They've had their 2 Champions Cups. This is the one. This is the next step that they want and need to take. So they'll be heartbroken. Look, they've just lost. They could have easily won that fight. Easily. They were winning it. They were 2 minutes away from winning it, and it's just been pulled from them. And that's the disappointing nature, I think, for them, is that they were so close. The beauty of our sport, you see the friendships that these boys have through the academies where they've come through. You mentioned Osh, for Anthony Gélange, for Craig Aldrett. They've played together from a young age, now part of the French national side, there to console each other and to celebrate in moments of happiness and in desperation. Greg Aldrett there picked up by Anthony Gélange. Great images.
So let's hear from the homme du match, the man of the match. Of course, I think there's one man who we know who stood out from the crowd. But before that, we'll hear from Jack Willis.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we've come across Jack Willis, who has been celebrating like nobody's business down here on the touchline. Jack, your face when that try went over was a picture. It was like all your dreams came true in one moment.
I can't believe it, to be honest with you. I think we had a couple of minutes to go, and I think we were all prepared that we were going to be saying congratulations to La Rochelle, and then a moment later, and we've won it. I can't believe it. I can't tell you how I'm feeling right now, to be honest.
You had a monumental game yourself, jackling like nobody's business. You must be pretty pleased with your performance.
Oh, look, I'm not thinking about that right now. I always want to try and do my best for the team. That's what's important. But so it's the first trophy I've won in my senior career, and I can't tell you how happy I am.
You're following in the footsteps of Zach Mercer, who did the same thing with Montpellier last season in his first season here in France. How special is it? How much did you know about Top 14 before you came here, and how much have you learnt since you've arrived?
I think it's been a hell of a learning curve, to be honest with you. I don't think I realised what a great competition it is and what an incredible fan base Toulouse have out in France. And as soon as I knew Toulouse were interested in me, I snapped up the opportunity, and I don't regret it one bit.
Does it almost make it worthwhile that you're not in with your brother this week?
Oh, look, I don't think I'll ever sort of heal that scar that that's been left after not being able to play with my brother. But this is pretty special, and I'm chuffed.
Go and enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Jack Willis there, very happy man. He really is reveling in this new chapter of his wonderful career, isn't he? That's just sublime, extraordinary. And what a nice guy.
He is. Look, and he's got a real point of difference in that across that back row, there are people that can jackal, but he's got such a quality, he's so effective. He's got physicality, that edge as well that we've seen that he's had with England and in the Premiership for years, and now absolutely loving life in the top 14. He's been exceptional all season, and to finish with a trophy in your first year, well done, that man.
That's a big Brennus shield, isn't it, that one there? They won't be able to lift that one, but they will get the smaller version big time in a matter of moments. It really is, it has been exceptional. It has been an incredible season. Just to give you an idea, 2.7 million fans entered stadiums from the first whistle that was blown and round one right until today's final. An average of 15,000 fans at every game. Bienvenue en France, le rugby est roi.
It has been absolutely exceptional, especially once you consider what we've come out of COVID years. The receipts across the board for top 14 gates have been up incredibly when other countries have been down. They've peaked. The French national side, the quality of rugby in top 14. France has fallen back in love with its sport. They're about to host the biggest competition in the world, the third biggest sporting event in the global calendar. But tonight it's all about the top 14. What a year it's been. What a season it's been for both sides, La Rochelle and Toulouse. Toulouse finished winners tonight. But what a spectacle it's been, Robbie. Will Skelton with the world's largest 13-month-old. Absolutely incredible genetics.
Future star of Australian rugby, or maybe French rugby. We just never know, do we? Well, these are the defining moments. Antoine Dupont just looks so humble and just another rugby player, but the wizardry and the mastery and what he does is just extraordinary. It's off the scale.
He is now a global superstar in our sport. One of a handful that we can look to with the technical abilities, the physical abilities. He wows everyone, but what a bloke. One of the best, most grounded boys you could come across. Another title for him, importantly as well. We didn't talk about it at the start of the game, but very little in the way for Fabien Galtier to worry about in injuries. Antoine has made it through along with all of his French teammates.
It's true.
They will join up for camp in 2 weeks' time. What a celebration they're going to have before now and then.
Yeah. Now this is, it's all pointing in the right direction. And I just wonder, you know, how France will fare come September, October. Look at that, René Buscatel, of course, the former president at Toulouse. Emmanuel Macron, the president of the Republic of France, of course, and they're all the big high fives, happy days. And he experienced and he watched a fantastic rugby final here in France, which is extraordinary. René Buscatel, it's nice to see him. He's the head of Liga Nationale de Rugby, of course, but former president of Toulouse. It's a special moment for him too, I imagine. Well, they're going to get that Brennus, the Bouclier de Brennus, where they'll be able to lift it in a matter of moments. But I think we can most definitely say that Stade Toulousain have showed us once again that they have the experience, they've got the savoir-faire, they've got the knowledge and the know-how and the ability to, just when their backs are up against the wall, they come back. And I said a couple of times tonight, Johnny, I said, it's not over until it's over, until that final whistle has been blown. And it just goes to show it's been one of those nights. But what a spectacle, what a fantastic final it has been for neutrals.
High emotion. And Jack Willis summed it up perfectly when he said, you know, you're a minute away from shaking the hands of the opposition and congratulating them on their win. All of a sudden the game swings and the trophy's yours.
Pastore will be hoping that he'll be called up to be in the French team, of course. Bit of competition in that number 10 shirt, but tonight, what did he get from this? Well, you know, I think he realized that he has to produce a little bit more magic next time, maybe, just because when you look at Intermac, you make mistakes, but then you hit back with something like that.
Antoine Hastoy now part of a high-functioning La Rochelle side. He does have Intermac and Mathieu Jalibert ahead of him in the hierarchy.
Moments away from that magical moment. A long season, a season that started, well, start of September, all the way right through until now, tonight. What a year, what a season, and there's more to come. Top 14 restarts on the, I think it's the 19th of August. 3 rounds, and then it's the Rugby World Cup 2023 on French soil. Everybody's excited about it, no more than the French players within these two teams who will be itching to get out to show us what they're capable of doing. But tonight, Toulouse have showed us just why they're the best team in France. They've underlined the reason why they can come back and provide us with the miracle moves that they so often do. Ronan O'Gara watches on. He knows that that was a tough one to take in, but he knows that that was an important battle to show that they're not going to get trodden on and mowed down. It was a fair matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, Toulouse are the French champions 2022-2023. The Bouclier de Brennus in the hands of Weenie Antonio, Antoine Dupont. The celebrations at the Stade de France. Number 22 for Toulouse. Félicitations. Extraordinaire. Unbelievable. What a season. Oh, my word.
Beautiful moment as well for big Charlie Famaina. His last game as a rugby player gets to lift the trophy with Antoine Dupont. What a way to finish.
And there it is, the 22nd Top 14 title for Toulouse, Stade Toulousain, the mighty Stade Toulousain. 2021, the last one. Last year, we saw Montpellier beat Castres, and this year's Romain Ntomac, who hits back and provides Toulouse on the Pink City something quite extraordinary. A moment of magic from the talismanic Ntomac with 2 minutes to go. I still can't get my head around that, Johnny.
He's broken the game, and he didn't have his best game, but he has broken the game with the biggest line break that we've seen. An individual flourish and a finish that changed the destiny of this title with 2 minutes to go. Crushing for La Rochelle, for Greg Aldred, as they salute their fans as well at the opposite end of the stadium.
There it is. Mani Miafu, the man who's got a big career ahead of him. It's only just started. It's only just started. Ronan O'Gara has lost a couple of finals. He knows what it's like to hit back. He knows what he's going to do. And he knows that his destiny lies within the ranks of La Rochelle to lift them up and win and lift the Brennus Bouclier. Ugo Mola creating his own legacy, the same style that Guy Novez did, you know, back in the day. Very emotional evening here. I don't think I've seen more tears flowed at a Top 14 final ever in my life.
Wonderful scenes. Mani Miafu and Richie Arnold taking the bouclier towards families and friends. Tim Nanai Williams.
And everybody gets a chance to lift it, of course.
The kids as well. Great scenes. Great to have everyone involved.
Well, Skelton's kids have decided that they want to try and get their hands on the giant Brennus shield. But there's the two Argentinians, of course. Choco Baez and Malia. Nice moment for them. You know, it's such an emblematic, such an important shield, isn't it?
It's the Holy Grail. That's how you sum it up in France. The difference between the Champions Cup, European rugby, the top 14 title, Bouclier de Brennus over here is the Holy Grail of rugby. As these players take it down to show it off in front of friends, family, these are memories that will last a lifetime, no matter where you're from. Argentinians over, other side of the world, try-scoring memories, now taking the trophy down to celebrate with fans.
And that's fitting, isn't it? Take the Brennus, the Bouclier de Brennus to the fans, give them what they want, give them all of the support throughout the entire season, and this is the magic that we like Good to see Jack Willis and Ange Capozzo. He'll be running out for Italy come September, of course, but look at that. Tim Nanai-Williams, you know, Louis Barassi. And, you know, a lot of these players, they're in the same class, you know, the likes of Ramos and when you see Dupont, etc. They've all come through the academy, come through the system. They're all part of the Toulouse, you know, product, which is basically a system that works so well. And they won the treble this year. The Espoirs and the Crabos. Jerome Kaino just leading out his Espoirs to win the day after they managed to win their semi-final against Racing. Just basically tells you that this whole system is a successful system that functions really well. La Rochelle are trying to match that, and they're not far off. This is what it's all about, isn't it? Celebrations. I wonder if he's a little bit embarrassed about that.
Just don't injure him. That's what everyone's thinking. Just don't drop him.
Well, Antoine Dupont, what a legend, what a star. Time for the fireworks to begin. The pyrotechnics after plate tectonic shifted here in northern Paris tonight. as we see the Brenners being paraded around the Stade de France in front of the fans. Largely the Toulousains, but the La Rochelle fans still here, just soaking up the atmosphere, although there is disappointment. But just look at this. This is just it's an amuse-bouche. You know, it's just a little taster for what's to come in September. And in August, of course, because the Top 14 starts on the 19th. We're looking forward to that, and we'll be bringing you all of the live action every weekend, of course, throughout. There will be a break during the Rugby World Cup, but we're here in France, and we're going to be reveling in everything that comes our way. Johnny Beattie, has been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely loved it. An incredible day. The spectacle, and as you mentioned, Robbie, it's just going to get better. This has been what a day for French rugby, for the top 14, and for Stade Toulousain. For these boys, a big week ahead, a big week ahead. And then a physical prep, a World Cup to look after. But what a year it's going to be for rugby in 2023. But well done to Toulouse, their fan base, their support. And for French rugby this year, it's been absolutely incredible.
We wish you a fine evening. Bonne soirée. Thank you. And thanks to everybody who made this possible. And the team, Nico Clementine and Angus and Johnny and everybody who's brought Top 14 to the screens over the past 10 months. It's been a wonderful ride, and we're looking forward to the next one come the end of August. Hope you'll join us. But here it is, it's all about the Brenners, and it's all about Toulouse tonight. Romain Tamac finishing it off and offering them the 22nd Top 14 title. The celebrations will last long into the night. From us, I think we're going to go and rest our voices. We'll be back very soon. Merci et au revoir.